Welcome to Your Music Saved Us, where two friends blast ourselves into the past to relive and recontextualize the alternative Christian music we grew up listening to in the 1990s. My name is Jay, and I'll be your host for today. And with me is someone who's quite happy and sad in the same day, Clifton. Clifton, how are you?
I really loved that line when I was a kid, because as someone who grew up, unknowingly kind of dealing with anxieties and depression, that line always did resonate with me, yeah. I'm doing good, though. Yeah.
Nice.
How about you?
Yeah. Like I said, a little bit of a snowstorm outside, but it's fun. Beginning of the year. Cool. It's 2025. So welcome, everybody. It's nice to have you all here. To
head back to work after a break.
Yeah. This is the day before going back to work, which is... it's fine. Actually, I like my job. I'm not looking for... I think Clifton likes his job, too. It's just we're like...
Yes.
Spending...
But just because you like it doesn't mean it's not stressful. And
it's true. And spending multiple hours digging out an email and like all that stuff.
I actually went into the office on Thursday for a couple hours just to sort through email and like get rid of all the stupid stuff.
Okay, that was smart.
Flag the few things that, yeah.
No, that'll be me tomorrow morning. But anyway.
I know I didn't have time for that, yeah.
Okay, well,
anyways.
To get back to it, sorry. Clifton, what are we listening to this week?
Well, we did this band's albums kind of in out of order. They have two albums, and we already did the second one. So we're going to go back and listen to the first album by Britpopers Kosmos Express, their album Now.
Are they from Great Britain?
No.
Okay.
But they're doing the Britpop thing.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Were we able to find this easily?
No, so same thing that happened on the last album. This is not on any streaming services, but we have put it on our YouTube channel with timestamps for the songs and all that kind of stuff. So you probably can't find it to listen to, but you can go to YouTube and listen to it on our channel there. Yeah,
and I appreciate you putting it on YouTube, Clifton, because that's what I used to prep for this episode. So, Clifton, was this played in youth group?
It wasn't, but I don't know, it could have been. Several of the songs especially really could have been. In fact, I think I had one of them, the real kind of organic, like listening to this and being like, why wasn't this played in youth group?
Yeah.
Feelings while going through this.
It wasn't played in mine, but it feels like it could have been somewhere.
Yeah.
So somebody out there, let us know if this was played in your youth group. You might have had like a cool intern or youth pastor and might have actually had this. One other thing we ask a lot, are we getting preached at on this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had a question mark and then kind of decided no on my end. So I'm curious when we get to that, how. I did tell Clifton before recording that I was really struggling to make meaning of these lyrics. So curious to hear your thoughts when we get to that.
I don't know that we know exactly what we're getting preached at about all the time, but we're definitely getting preached at more than you probably think.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go on, I want to remind everyone to visit patreon.com/YMSU to contribute to get extended episodes. We've got some new stuff on there. We're hoping to have some other new things on there. And Clifton has a different screen up, so I'm guessing he wants to talk a little bit about our patrons.
Yeah, thank our patrons. We got Kurt, Jimmy Sayer, Mixolydian Man, Aaron Quillen, Robbie Reagan, Charles Murphy, Noel Westbrook, Julie Ross, Chris Made My Own Lane, the Ghost of Larry Nichols, and our all-time top patron, Gravity Has Zero.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you being patrons. So
thank you.
Look for more stuff coming soon on our Patreon. So. Well, Clifton, you did this before, and I looked back. I think it was episode 50 that we covered
50, yeah.
Kosmos Express, but I forgot a lot of this, so I had to go back and look at the notes. So can you tell us a little bit about this band?
Yeah, I'm not really going to get back into it. You can go listen to the beginning of episode 50 if you want to. But what I'm going to get into is, and we brought this up a little bit, is that after we posted that episode, the lead singer, kind of the guy whose band this is, Rob Goriab, he left us a message first on YouTube, basically saying like, you guys don't know anything about me and my band and all this kind of stuff. And then he also left a similar message on Spotify, like a year and a half later. It was the same message, basically. And so as we got prepared to do this one, I wanted to reach out to him and see if he wouldn't mind coming on and correcting what we got wrong about him, We last time we pulled from his own website, the biography section of his own website that's on, it's not there anymore, but it's archived on the Wayback Machine from archive.org. So I thought that was a pretty good source. I guess he disagrees with that. The problem with him reaching out to us on YouTube and Patreon is that those are both, you can't respond to anybody, right? You can't reach out to them and be like, hey, what do let's talk. And if you remember from last time, I told you, Jay, that all his social media had kind of disappeared right before the episode. Like you could see that it did exist at one point, but it wasn't there anymore. But this time I went back and I did a search for him, and he had social media this time, so I reached out to him on social media. He responded saying that he first off demanded that we delete the last episode everywhere. He called it a hate pod. He accused me inviting him onto the podcast to clear up what we got wrong about him as bullying him. And then when I reached out to him, like when I responded to that, being like, I don't understand what's going on, he went on a long tangent about, if you don't love exactly what he loves, he's not going to, respond to you, and we hate him, and it's very obvious that we hate him, and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know where any of that comes from. I actually went back and listened to the first episode, and I spend like 90% of it just gushing about the album. I don't know. You didn't love the album, Jay, but like you didn't hate it by any means. So I don't know what's going on there. And I told him it was heartbreaking to get that kind of message from him. And he told me that it was heartbreaking that we are so mean to him. Yeah. So I don't know what to make of that, but it is what it is, and we'll just I don't know. Whatever we got wrong, we don't know, because he didn't want to clear up the record.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. We'll persevere.
Yeah.
We have a lot of artists that we'd ever talked to on a lot of these
Sure.
albums, so you know what?
Yeah.
It's fine.
So, I did want to mention here, though, that this album is produced and a few of the songs are co-written by Bob Wohler. So I wanted to mention him real fast here. He actually played bass on like Mike Nott's debut solo album in 1992, Screaming Brittle Siren, as well as some other like Broken Records and albums and stuff like that. And I have a little quote here from Christian Tape Underground, which is a WordPress website. It says, Bob Wohler and Larry Worley are cousins, and you might recognize their names somewhat. Bob and Larry went on to form Euthonda. Is that a band?
Yeah.
Okay. Larry left before they released their first two albums, but Bob stayed with them and then continued to work with many bands like Fold Zandora, Quell, and Third Day as a part of Essential Records and Sublime Records. And then I found this from back when we did the Quell episode. I had found this on the 90s Christian Music Recovery Group. It says, Robert Beeson, who ran Essential Records, wanted to start an alternative label and market the label as a brand with the artist, kind of like Tooth and Nail. He hired his friend and former bandmate from Euthonda to do A&R, and Fine Bands, Bob Bowler. So he would be the executive producer on all Sublime records and a lot of Essential records, like at the parent company of Sublime after this. That's kind of what he did. He was kind of A&R and finding bands and stuff like that.
While we're on it, one other thing I'll mention on this album that's different than the other one. The other album was produced by Gene Eugene, like engineered, produced. This one was engineered by a guy named Craig Knepp. And Craig actually I looked it up, he did a lot of other like good stuff. He did like a Letters to Cleo album. He did the Save Ferris albums.
Oh, wow.
He did a lot of stuff that he also did part of the Quail album, but he did the Vandals. He did a bunch of stuff that wasn't just in Christian market. So I thought it was an interesting choice for this album. Have no idea how he got connected with the band, but I think this album sounds pretty good. So
yeah,
bravo to him. We'll talk about it more. Clifton, if we're ready to go there, when did this come into your life? I can't remember. Did you hear this album before you heard the other one? Or did you hear the other one first?
No, this was in my life. This was probably the first album I found when I could start driving, I think. Because I have a lot of memories of listening to this while driving my car just around. I remember there's a lyric at some point that says something like he's doing double nickel, which is, I don't know if you remember that, but it's slang for 55 miles per hour back when that was the national speed limit.
I did not know that meant that, but okay, I just learned something new. All right.
Which also happened to be the speed at which my piece of shit first car would kind of start shaking violently like it was going to fly apart. So I remember associating those two things in my head, driving that car on the highway in my little town and listening to this album. Yeah, but I loved it. It, I don't know that I connected with it quite as much as the second one, but I listened to it a lot. This is kind of right on that cusp of me coming from, Newsboys, kind of via All Star United, kind of over to this one. I was already listening to punk at this point also, but there's kind of like a side quest in my music maturation story, or whatever, where it kind of is like a pop side quest that this is part of.
I could see the connections like with All Star United, like a fan of that, liking this for sure. I will say one thing going into this. I remember seeing ads for this a lot. I feel like when Sublime came out, they must have had quite a bit of marketing money initially. Because
they did.
There were like ads for this, at least in like HM or 7 Ball or something. Both, and I think they even had like a lot of promo posters and flats in the bookstore. Like I just remember seeing this a lot.
From what I remember, they released 3 albums at the same time, which were the first Full Dandora, this album, and Silage. I think it was Silage.
Okay.
And they kind of came up with a second round later that year with Quail and Honey and a few other little like bands like that, But yeah, they had a lot of, it was all over the place. Like it was every 7 Ball issue for like a year, like had this ad in it, Yeah.
It's funny. So now when I look, I'm just going to talk about the cover art, even though I know we do that later. But now when I look at the cover, I see definitely like the British Brit pop. Even like I know he's big time influenced by like the Who and bands like that. On the cover, just with the style, and even it says Heathrow, like from Heathrow Airport. It's like probably a photo from like the 60s or something, in black and white in the background. And I hear it in the music now. I think back then I didn't know enough about music I definitely didn't know enough about just like the world to figure this out with the cover. And I definitely didn't really know enough about music to like see that that's what they're doing. And this just got lumped in like alternative, where this was different than like some type of grunge thing or something. They definitely have different influences.
So somehow I knew that it was Beatles influence and stuff like that, I don't know where I got that. Maybe from I couldn't find any other interviews or anything from this time period with them. We had an interview from the time period of the second album on that episode, but I couldn't find any real press from this time period with them, other than the fact that they pushed a lot, obviously, with ads and stuff. So I don't know where I got that idea, but I had that idea in my head, I remember.
Okay. I'm sure there was like a recommended if you like or something, because that was all the thing
Probably.
back then. So
Yeah.
yeah. Have you listened to this really since then? I mean, aside from doing this episode?
Off and on, yeah. You know, not as much as the second album or as much as, you know, like the Julies or something like that, you know. But I have, you know, over the years, I've listened to it, you know, a handful of times, and it's always been enjoyable, you know. I don't think there's a skippable song on it. And as you said, it sounds great, you know. I didn't remember how good it was going to sound, but it sounds great. I think the recording quality is great. I think the songwriting is there. Like, it comes together really well.
Nice. Okay.
So you saw the album cover, but you never listened to this back in the day?
I might have in like a demo or something. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't. I'm not sure. Because
they had that, Sublime had Letters from a Green Planet. Do you remember that comp?
Uh-huh.
Did you have that?
No, but I remember the comp.
Okay, well.
I must have been so like, it's not on Tooth and Nail, I don't care at this point or something. I don't know. I remember this, and I may have listened to it, and a friend may have had it, but
yeah,
I don't know if I could have picked out a song as like, oh, that's Kosmos Express.
Interesting. Yeah, and I remember knowing that kind of Sublime was, you know, had a parent company that was a bigger company, you know, and where it was coming from, but it was putting out this interesting pop stuff, and I kind of enjoyed it, you know, like this and Quill and that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll keep listening to it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you want to jump into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Song number 1, Dream Maker.
So this song is written by Rob by himself. As an opening track, this is kind of weird. It has this really slow build, starting off with just like some cricket sounds in the background, and then some bongo drums kind of come in over the cricket sounds and a funky bass line, and then an acoustic guitar comes in, and just like strumming. And so it feels like this kind of early beatnik type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's how it's gonna come off at first, and so let me play a little bit of that here, and then I'll play into the first verse. You can kind of hear there that when the vocals come in, they have this kind of reverse effect to them as they come in. So it's like rock today, you know, kind of like that, which kind of gives it this like maybe like psychedelic, you know, kind of druggy feeling. Which, you know, back when that was easy to accomplish because you could just put a little reverb and maybe reverse something and put a little chorus on it, and it sounded super weird, right? But I think it feels like it's coming out of that kind of beatnik kind of thing here into a more psychedelic type of thing. And it kind of evokes this kind of like peace and love hippie shit. But the vocals are meaner. I think they kind of, you'll see it here as we enter the chorus. I'm going to replay the vocals again. But you'll see here as we enter the chorus what I'm talking about.
Today's dream maker, today's late breaker, today's overtaker, today's myth maker. You'll fall down, you'll fall down.
So it has, I think the vocals kind of come off as terse, especially once you pair him with that you will fall down type thing there, which comes across very clearly. So it does that for another verse followed by the you will fall down. Before we go into a bridge that kind of builds that tension, kind of bringing in eventually some kind of like booming, distorted guitars and all kinds of other noises and vocal effects and whatnot.
'Cause everywhere I see this face, everywhere a warning's placed, everywhere you might have seen me
So, we've gone from kind of trippy, druggy into full force, just like psychedelia, I think here. We've got this phaser kind of thing going on. We got some vocals in there that are doing all kinds of weird, trippy things in the background. Pretty interesting for an opening track, I think, especially for me as a kid. This is like, okay, what is this?
Right.
Especially to go from that acoustic guitar into this. I don't remember exactly, but I probably didn't know what to make of it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And my dad listened to like Led Zeppelin, so I wasn't unfamiliar with harder rock, but I was unfamiliar with this kind of like trippy kind of druggy kind of psychedelic kind of thing, There's a third verse, this time I think anger's kind of clearly on display in this third verse. And all the noise and guitars and kind of stuff kind of continue on through it. Goes on like that for a while, saying you will fall down, and kind of fades out. And I don't know. I think it's a good opening track. It, like I said, it really, it kind of soft pedals you in a little bit, and then really hits you in the face. I think with this, these kind of scream condemnations of "you will fall down."
It's I really like the bass. Oh
yeah, it's a great bass.
Yeah, that carries you through. It's not like their catchiest song.
Nope.
Like I found myself kind of like, all right, where is it gonna like really hook me? And it didn't really, but you're right. It's got that build to it that I don't think you kind of have to put it first on the album. I don't know where else it fits. The way it just kind of intros to it, and that bass line is nice, carrying all the way through.
Yeah, and you're right. It does carry all the way. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it's got energy. It's fun. It's not like I said, not the catchiest, but it is still fun. So good first track.
Clifton, what? Well, I'm going to start. This is the part of the show where after every song, I'm going to ask Clifton, what do these lyrics mean? Because as I went through this album, I was just scratching my head. the whole time. I have a few guesses, but they're not even that strong on most of these songs. So, yeah, would love to hear your interpretation.
You want to read them real fast?
I will, sure.
Okay.
It says, today's dream maker, today's leg breaker, today's overtaker, today's myth maker. You'll fall down, you'll fall down. Today's deal maker, today's belly acher, today's pepper shaker, today's cult maker. You'll fall down, you'll fall down. Because everywhere I see this face, from everywhere a warning's placed, everywhere you might have been, see me wave, I'm saved. Today's housebreaker, today's rattlesnaker, today's troublemaker, today's big faker, and then he just repeats, you will fall down.
Yeah. So, pretty weird. You want my take on it first?
I would just tell you my guess, since
go for
it's
it.
much shorter than yours. My guess was like, is this the thing that's like, I'm okay because I'm saved, but you're not, so you'll fall down? That's like...
Definitely. It's in some sort, right? Yeah.
Okay, that was my only guess, and I was like, I might not even be right on that.
But who is he telling to fall, that they're going to fall down, right? Because there's some confusing parts here, like we got Dream Maker, Leg Breaker, Overtaker, Myth Maker, right? But then I was like, what if leg breaker isn't like a mobster? What if it's like someone you tell, hey, break a leg?
Oh, yeah.
So what if this first one is like storytellers? Like creative professionals, you know?
Okay. I could see. That's a nice way to link those together. I like that.
Maybe I'm wrong, but you know, this is all we have, right? Rob didn't want to come on. So.
Yeah.
You know, you could read, you know, leg breaker as a mafia person type thing, but you know, I choose to take this as kind of storytellers, creative professionals, entertainers, let's say. Okay. And entertainers are a huge, like Christians love shitting on entertainers, right?
True.
Because they're out there. And it's easy to be like, look at your decadent lifestyle, entertaining us and leading us to sin. You will fall down. Okay.
Fair.
The next one's a little bit different, right? Like we have deal maker, belly acher, pepper shaker, cult maker. You know, and like deal maker, first thing I think of is like, art of the deal. I don't know. I don't know about you, right?
Yeah.
Bellyacher is like who out there complains all the time about how poorly they're treated, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, cult maker who's out there making a cult. This is obviously foretelling Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a prophetic song, even.
This is a prophetic song. Yes.
All right.
Deal maker, bellyacher, cult maker. I don't know what to do with pepper shaker. Maybe that's the spray tan.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's obviously foretelling Trump.
All right, Clifton, this episode's going to be more interesting than I thought. All right, here we go.
Let's skip to the third verse. We'll come back to this bridge.
Okay.
This one's harder. I don't know if this whole verse is describing one type of person, you know, because we have housebreaker, rattlesnaker, troublemaker, big faker. Which you could still take this to be Trump, right? Like Trump is like he cheats on his wives, he breaks houses, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's a rattlesnaker, kind of like grifting, you know, with like the snake handler kind of thing, you know, like, hey, believe in me. Like, look what I can do. He's a troublemaker. He's a faker, you know. Mm-hmm. You know what else he is? He's also an entertainer.
Yeah, true.
This whole song is obviously a prophetic fever dream of how Trump is going to come down. You will fall down, Trump. You will fall down.
Shit, I had no idea. This was out here just predicting it back in 1990.
Yep.
So 20 years before he was first elected.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Brave, really, too.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah. And all of this was true, by the way, of him back then, as much as it is today. Maybe not the cult maker type part, you know?
Yeah.
But he's always been a complainer. He's always been a quote unquote deal maker, right? He's always been an entertainer. He got into the tabloids by cheating on his wives. That's just So back to the bridge, because everywhere I see this face, right? Like you can't turn on the TV without Trump being there. From everywhere warnings placed, he's obviously you can't look at him and not know that he's fake, right? Everywhere you might see me wave, I'm saved. Because I'm not buying into this. He's gonna fall down. I'm saved. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. All right.
Yep.
Well,
I think we solved it.
Okay. Well, good deal. All right. They just somehow knew about this 19 years ahead of time or something. So it's perfect. Okay.
Yeah. But for real, it's a dark song lyrically, because it's obviously. I think I really am right about the kind of the first one being entertainers and the second one being kind of just people who get people to gather around them and troublemakers and all this kind of stuff. He's basically saying anyone who sins because you're not anyone whose sins are different from mine, you're gonna fall down.
Interesting, right?
But I'm saved because I see Jesus. I see the warnings in Jesus. I just open my eyes and Jesus is there. I am so blessed and you're going to fall down. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine writing this song? I can because I lived through that also. But there's a lot of hubris in this song.
Okay. Whew. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fun?
Sure. Song number 2?
Yeah, let's keep this moving.
Beautiful. There was a video for this, so I'm guessing this was kind of put out as a single. Is my guess.
Probably, I guess, yeah. It's weird to me that the single wasn't a later song, Little Tree, but we'll come back.
Thank you, Clifton. I'm glad to hear that because I heard that song for the first time listening to it. I was like, oh, I was like, all right, I'm rocking Little Tree. Yeah. And one of the other ones we do after that, I can't remember which one right now. I was like, this is pretty good too. Why is Beautiful the single? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like Beautiful. I think it's a good song, but it's a weird song. And because so I actually wrote this while I was trying to figure out how to describe it. I wrote, this is a hard song to describe. It goes from the more driving side of Britpop to sweet and jangly and all over the place, very frenetic and schizophrenic in a way.
Yeah, and I like, especially one part of it. I'll talk about in a minute. But anyway, let's just jump into it. We can compare it to Little Tree when we get there.
Yeah. So the previous track actually fades out kind of with this feedback building, and it ends at the beginning of this song. And the song kind of starts off with this kind of scratchy kind of guitar, and then goes straight into the first verse with this kind of in your face kind of continuing that scratchy guitar thing, but it's dun 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 near kind of thing, before moving into a more melodic chorus. And I think the chorus is the beautiful part of the song, but we'll listen here.
Is this just a great escape? Miles away am I when I see your face. Disappear for just another glance. I'm far away from everything I can fake. Yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so
And it goes back into another verse there. I think one really clever thing about the songwriting here is that, he does the scratchy guitar near kind of thing. Kind of after that near kind of thing comes in between each line. But after the third line, he doesn't do it because I'm pretty sure he knows that he's going to annoy the shit out of you if he does it again. And so he waits for the fourth one. But it's kind of clever because it is interesting, but he doesn't make it tiresome,
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
little guitar lick at the end of each line.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But if it was there every time, it would become tiresome.
Yeah, I agree. But it's enough to make it kind of interesting.
It is, yeah. And I think the chorus is kind of beautiful. This you're so beautiful. It's really melodic, but it still has this kind of in your face driving music behind it, and driving in was very like both of us when this song started, we both started banging our heads to it because like it's a really good beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're right back in another verse. Their second verse kind of goes on a little bit longer, and it leads into this bridge.
You might know, yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so like summer calling winds, a day when nothing seems as clear. The spotlight flickering, your mind is sure to let you in. Yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so.
So at this point, we have done verse, chorus, bridge, calmer chorus. We've been through the song like we're halfway through the song like time wise, and we've been through the entire song, right? But once again, good songwriting here. I think that bridge is interesting because the vocals actually get more in your face, but then the music gets more melodic. And then we drop out most of the music and go back into the you're so beautiful chorus, but with strings behind it this time.
Mm-hmm. I liked the cello edition here.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting it and enjoyed how it came into the song. So
yeah. And I like the kind of jangly guitar with the cello there. I think that the two combined together is a really nice sound. And I'll just go ahead and say this because it's kind of going to be my the next thing I talk about. That jingly guitar is most likely, from what I can tell, the lead guitarist or whoever the other guitarist is playing a Marshall, and Rob is playing a Vox. And listen to the guitar right here, kind of in this. This is going back into the chorus again after a little bit. This time the strings stay there, but the guitars are louder. And I love the guitars here. This is why I play Vox amps, because they go from that jingly thing to this kind of like really primitive, wild distortion that you're going to hear here.
I'm not ashamed of, yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so
To go back to the guitar real fast, you have like the very primitive kind of a lot of high mids, Vox amp, there, and then you're kind of filling in the rest of it in the background there with the Marshall amp and more of the low mids. I don't know. It just sounds great.
Can I share a little trivia about the cello on that?
Yeah.
I just learned. So I'm always wondering when we do a lot of these albums and they have an instrument that's not normally with the band. For instance, in this case, like cello, is it a friend? Is it someone they know? In this case, it looks like they hired someone to do it. The credit is to someone named Melissa Hassan. And so I just looked her up on Discogs while we were doing this, and she's got like a ton of stuff she's played on. And she's on a Mortal album. She's on Mike Knott's Screaming Brittle Siren. She's on a Maranatha singer. So she's in the Christian world, but she's also played on a ton that's not. She was on Tori Amos' album. She was played on Nina Simone's album. She played on No Doubt's, that really, whatever that really big album was, Tragic Kingdom. On a bunch of different stuff. Also on the next Kosmos Express album. So
Nice.
Also on the Rushmore soundtrack. I thought you'd like that one.
Nice.
So anyway, just kind of interesting. It seems clear they had some money to spend on this album with the producer
Definitely
they had, with the musicians. And you can hear it in these songs because they have a lot going on.
Yeah, they're thick and layered. Yeah. This album comes off as a higher budget album than their second album to me.
I think it might have been. I mean, not that Gene Eugene is at all a bad producer, but they kind of went with like the safe, like where everybody does it for that second one. And the first one, like more of a guy who doesn't really do Christian stuff so much. They have multiple other musicians. Like, I'd be curious how long they spent in the studio on this album versus the second one, etc.
That's a great question. Yeah. And there's also, by the way, I didn't mention it, but there's a completely different band. Like, who is listed as the members of the band is completely different on this album than the second album.
Interesting. So Rob is kind of the only member who kind of stays throughout.
But from what I understand, the eventual second album members, like, they came together pretty quickly because I think they toured this album.
Okay. So they weren't brand new for that. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the video here.
Which, by the way, whoever uploaded it, bravo, because it's actually pretty good quality. A lot of these old videos are online. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it looks as nice as the original VHS probably will allow it to look.
Yeah, but some of the ones are pretty bad, and this is not.
Yeah, they are. So it's mostly the guy is kind of sitting in a living room kind of setup, playing, the music. Very mod chic, I would say.
Yeah.
There's a Union Jack on the wall over there on the left. Sometimes over here on the right, you can see like an American flag hanging in the middle. There's a tape player, like a reel-to-reel that they're messing with sometimes. Every once in a while, you'll see a Vespa sitting around. There's also a little portion at the beginning where a guy is riding a Vespa.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just very mod chic overall. Rob is wearing dark sunglasses throughout the entire thing. And he's playing a Rickenbacker guitar, whereas the other guitarist is playing a Les Paul with P90s. And that's kind of it, really. There's not much else that happens. Kind of towards the end, he starts cutting in some of, like, I guess maybe it's Rob, I don't know who it is, but it's someone kind of standing in a dark room with, like, one bright light. But there's not much else that happens. It's, pretty low budget, probably, for a music video. But it is a music video, and it looks good.
Yeah. Not a ton happens. It's not like a super exciting music video, but they're just sitting there playing and a little bit of the Vespa stuff at the beginning. I think at the end, there's like kind of like a collection of Vespas and stuff before they go out. And like I said, it looks nice compared to most videos from this era, but I don't think like if you're flipping through the channels, like this video is going to catch your eye. The music might, but the video, you're going to be like, Yeah.
If anything, kind of the mod chic is going to catch your eye and be like, oh, if you know you like that kind of stuff, you might stop and be like, oh, I don't like this.
That's what I kind of mean by the cover too, and this thing going on. Like, if you know what this is, then you're going to be like, oh, I see what this band is trying to do. If you didn't, like me, you're going to be like, I don't know, they like scooters. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right. I think that is everything we... Oh, wait, we need to do the lyrics.
The lyrics, Clifton.
Oh,
so,
man.
Again, I'm going to tell you... Well, do you want me to read them first?
Yeah, go ahead and read them.
Okay. Is this just a great escape? Miles away I am when I see your face. Disappear for just another glance. I'm far away from everything I can fake. And then the chorus is, yeah, you're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so. Is this just a free-for-all? Release the reason for this waterfall. I might as well ask Lawrence, he might know. And then the chorus again, you're so beautiful. Like a summer caught in wind, a day when nothing seems as clear, the spotlight flickering, your mind is sure to let you in. And again, yeah, you're so beautiful. And then, is this just a sound effect? I'll pray for you and wait for your request. I declare a love I'm not ashamed of. And then, yeah, you're so beautiful. Clifton, my first question. Who is Lawrence?
I don't know. There is someone named Lawrence in the movie The Great Escape. Lawrence Montague. He's kind of a background actor that did a lot of stuff. He played
that first line, is this a great escape? I see.
I don't know. That was just my first thought. You know, like you can see here he's playing a Vulcan or a Romulan or something like that on Star Trek. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, and I even looked through the album credits to see like if they had a friend named Lawrence listed in there, but they don't. So I was, okay. Didn't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think of this song lyrically?
So I wasn't sure, and then when I was listening to it, I remember I was putting away dishes in the kitchen, and I heard that part about like pray for you and wait for your request, declare a love I'm not ashamed of, and I was like, wait a minute, is he saying you're so beautiful to God?
Right.
But then I thought, well, I don't know if that really fits with everything else when I went back and read the lyrics, so I don't know.
That's kind of where I was. You know, I think until the last verse, I wasn't sure if this was a real love song or a song about God. But like you said, then there's the line, I'll pray to you and wait for your request. I think that kind of clears it up, you know, unless Rob's in the habit of praying to beautiful men or women, you know, whatever he likes, you know. It seems... what I get from it, though, separate from that, is that there seems to be a feeling of kind of like great freedom. You know, is this just a great escape? You know, I disappear for just another glance. Is this just a free for all? Release the reason for this waterfall. Like a summer caught in wind, a day when nothing seems as clear. The spotlight flickering, your mind is sure to let you in. All of that sounds kind of very freeing, kind of this like jubilant love, kind of like first love, teen love kind of thing like that, you know, overwhelming maybe. But then we get to the end and we get, is this just a sound effect? Just a sound effect. And that's the first time I'm like, well, what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
That almost seems like, is this fake? Is this just an affectation, you know? And then we get the two lines, I'll pray to you and wait for your request. I declare a love I'm not ashamed of. Yeah, you're so beautiful. I don't know. It's very confusing. But that line, I'll pray to you and wait for your request is quite weird. Without that line, it just seems like an overwhelming love that kind of causes some confusion about the limits of it, you know?
Yeah, like you're just kind of really smitten, infatuated with somebody. And right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'll pray to you and wait for your request. You know what? Maybe it is about that, but this line is turned separately and been like, but God, I'm going to pray to you and see if this is okay with you.
Different use in the song. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We see that sometimes. Yeah.
Fair. All right.
But yeah, I don't know. It could be either one. Could be something completely different, obviously. Maybe we don't know. That, by the way, that's something that Rob was very clear about, is that you and I seem to not be intellectually capable of understanding him.
Well, it might be true.
Yeah. So, I don't know. All that said, I think it's a beautiful song. You know, it's frantic and like all over the place, but it's so, when it stops being in your face, it becomes very melodic and beautiful. And that, yeah, you're so beautiful thing is just, it's very nice.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to go to the next song. Well, I saw that you have a few on here that I guess you want to hit up briefly.
You know, I got brief things to say about all these songs. Like, here's the thing about this album. I don't think there's a skipper on the album. You know, I think there might be some second-tier songs, but I don't think there's a skipper among them.
Okay.
So this next song is called Tangerine. We're going to listen to a little bit here. This is kind of a fun, fast, quirky song.
I'm much too unsettled something that I ain't. And if you're not impressed, then gang, have a nice day. And when the day is done, you'll see I answer the only one. Go all the way, tangerine. Go all the way, tangerine.
I really like that. No Other Way, Tangerine. I answered only one. I think Rob has a real gift of kind of making an instrument out of his vocals. I'm gonna play a little bit more here, also from about halfway through the song.
Go all the way. Here's your hello. Here's your hello. Here's your hello. Here's your hello. Here's your
Fun little side thing there with the sound effects. That's kind of what we get through all this. You know, it's you know, kind of always have like a little psychedelic thing going on, always a little quirky, you know. The little bit of lyrics that we heard that were interesting, you know, answered only one, Tangerine, He Is Gone, Hello, Sirens kind of there on the bridge. And look, Jay, I didn't set out to make a lot of Trump references on this album. But who else do you pledge your allegiance to that's orange? They're gone and then they come back and they're a criminal.
Yeah, this album was truly prophetic.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Just saying. I'm just asking questions.
Okay, fair.
It might get old if we stop on every song, but I'm going to do it again here on the next one, which is called EBT. From what I can tell, the title comes from the first three words, which are Uromatic Black Trance. EBT. Uromatic Black Trance.
On an egg of sister ordinary trance and first rate dance of attitude and mineral eradicate and speculate for New York days. Well, I drive a car to work, it's very far, and I'm like you, I wish I were there too. Well, I'm a trash man. Well, I'm a superstar. Well, I'm a paramedic. Well, I'm a child of God. In the days you lost, you'll make it hard to...
Once again, fun. I really like the line, I drive a car to work, it's very far. I don't know why. It's just nice. On the first album, you accused him of trying to shove Jesus into everything, and I enjoy there the I'm a trash man, I'm a paramedic, or something, I'm a child of God.
Yeah, I just noticed that when you played it. I was like, okay.
Does seem to come out of nowhere. All right, now I'm ready to do the next one, Jay.
Number 5, Little Tree. This was my favorite. I'll say that just going into it of the ones we're doing.
I'm surprised, Jay. I thought you would not like this song. I thought it was too saccharine for you.
Well, it's catchy, and I like that. It also has some kind of loud, soft dynamics, which I also like quite a bit. So
it's true.
Those two things, yeah, I was into.
Okay. So this is the one that's co-written with the executive producer and for the album, Rob Wohler. So I think this is probably the first song that caught my attention as a kid, which kind of makes sense, kind of coming from that Newsboys via All-Star United kind of thing. And this is the song, I think there might have been more than one song by each band, but I think this is one of the songs that's on Statements from the Green Planet, that Sublime's first sampler.
Okay, so they at least saw like, okay, this is a pretty good song. We'll stick it on the sampler.
Yes. I don't know if I heard the sampler first or if I got this album first. I feel like I got the album first, but I don't know. You know, it's been a long time. And Man, even my memory from when we first started doing this podcast, my memory of those days is...
Oh man, me too. I was messaging you that. I was like, I forgot what we've said on certain albums. Like, I have to look back. So I forgot we've even covered certain albums. It's just like, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I know. So this song kind of starts with just a very simple kind of strummed acoustic guitar and vocals. The vocals are kind of both. They're very nice. They're both like booming and delicate in a weird way. And that kind of takes us through the first verse. So let's listen to that.
Oh, little tree, what do you mean to me? You're everything I've wanted you to be. I look into your eyes and see your sweet disguise. Oh, little tree. I guess I really never said hello, but now you know it's time for me to know.
So you can see in there, the second verse, we kind of add in kind of a calm bass, those kind of controlled drums there, you know, backing vocals to thicken things up with some harmonizing. And I really love that first line of the second verse. I guess I really never said hello. It's very coy, kind of, you know, has this kind of like mysterious feeling in the context, I think, especially since we're singing to a little tree. So from here, we're going to get tossed into from the verse into the chorus. There's going to come in these yeah, and kind of on this third the yeahs. I made a note to myself that's kind of like it would not be out of place on that first All Star United album that we covered. And on that third the drums start crashing cymbals, guitar distorts, the bass starts driving harder.
So here I go, my friend. It's time to make amends. Oh, little tree that burns in me. Yeah, not a single chance, not a single dance, not one memory has ever been matched. Not a wink of sleep, not a lover's gag, not a single day I throw you all away.
It's short, but it's punchy and it's fun and it's sing-alongable. Whether you know, when you first hear the song, you can sing along to the yeah part. As you get to know the song, you can sing along to the other part. It's good.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great point because I was thinking like, okay, I can do the yeahs. I don't really know what he's saying the other part because it's a little more complicated. But you're right. You listen to it more, sing along to that. And again, I like the like quieter verses, louder chorus. That for me, I was like, all right, okay, we got that soft, loud stuff going on. I'm here for that.
Me too, especially with those jingly vox kind of guitar thing on the verses. I'm a lover of that. And yeah, I don't. This is when it hit me. I'm like, why wasn't this played in youth group? This song should have been played.
This song, I think, could have been bigger. They should have pushed this more. Yeah,
they should have. Yeah. The third verse, we kind of get some more jangly guitars going. The drums and bass calm down, but we actually have a really nice. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to play it back through with listening to the bass riff because it's kind of cool.
Everyone has told me a white lie. Roll the dice and watch the glimmer die. You live inside of me. Please help us all to see what makes you.
I don't know. I like it. I think it's a pretty good bass line.
That sound. I love how that can isolate it so well. That sounded like it's impressive. I just got that
I know.
part.
This Moises has changed a lot in the year that we've been using it.
Yeah.
This is the 1 year anniversary, by the way, of what we've been using it for. And
It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's go back into it here, but with everything.
What makes you? What makes you? Yeah, not a single chance, not a single dance, not one memory has ever been matched. Not a wink of sleep, not a lover's day, not a single day I throw you all away. Oh, little tree that burns in me, your mind is where it ought to be.
kind of a bridge there, kind of coming out of that third verse. It keeps up kind of the excitement of the chorus, but it's not the chorus. It's repeating that little tree refrain over and over again, so it feels familiar. I think this is a well put together song. And now we kind of get a little instrumental part, kind of a guitar solo. I like the beginning of the guitar solo. I think the end of it gets a little too guitar solo-y for me.
Right.
Yeah. And then we kind of go back into that kind of pre-chorus thing, "Oh Little Tree" kind of part here. And then we get the weirdest lyrics on the song, Jay. Maybe on the entire album.
I look at your disguise and see your Jesus eyes. Oh, little tree that burns in me. Yeah, not a single chance, not a single dance, not one memory has ever been matched. Not a wink of sleep, not a love of play, not a single day I throw you all away.
As we go through that chorus again there, we got to actually have a lead guitar added to it. That near, 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 near kind of makes it a little more special. I really like it. Overall, ace of a song.
Yeah, I like how they go back to the chorus after the bridge and just kind of close out with that. Just keep repeating it.
But not in a Newsboys way where they do it like 5 times in a row, They
No,
just do it
but
two more times.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
No, I'm enjoying.
And they add to it. They add that lead guitar. Plus, they've really got you on your back foot because they just said the weirdest line in the whole world. "I see your Jesus eyes." And what do you? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, with that, shall we jump into the lyrics on this?
Let's do it. You want to split these ones since they're kind of longer?
Sure.
"Oh, little tree, what do you mean to me? You're everything I've wanted you to be. I look into your eyes and see your sweet disguise. Oh, little tree. I guess I really never said hello. But now you know it's time for me to know. So here I go, my friend. It's time to make amends. Oh, little tree that burns in me. Not a single chance, not a single dance, not one memory has ever been matched. Not a wink of sleep, not a lover's blink, not a single day I'd throw you all away."
Yeah. Okay. Here's the next part. "Everyone has sold me a white lie. Roll the dice and watch the glimmer die. You live inside of me. Please help us all to see what makes you what makes you." And then I guess it's the same chorus. So it's not a single dance. Not one memory has ever been matched. Not a wink of sleep. Not a lover's blink. Not a single day I'd throw you all away. Oh, little tree that burns in me, your mind is where it ought to be. Oh, little tree that grows in me, your life has made its final plea. Oh, little tree that burns in me, I look at your disguise and see your Jesus eyes. Oh, little tree that burns in me.
It's an interesting song. I think it's a fun metaphor. What's your takeaway?
Okay, so here's a problem that I run into on multiple albums. Like, if I were coming at this and didn't know this was Christian and this was not a Christian podcast looking at all that, I probably wouldn't interpret some of these things a certain way, right?
100%.
But because I know this is in the Christian market and that, I tend to interpret things one way. I may be wrong, put that out there. So, like when he says at the end of the second verse, "Oh, little tree that burns in me," that to me automatically sounds like, Jesus or something, some kind of Christian kind of thing. And then later he says, "You live inside of me. Please help us all to see what makes you." So I don't know. It's like, is the little tree Jesus? But this seems kind of weird. And tree could be the cross. But why is it a little tree? I was like, I don't. Yeah.
I thought maybe it's the Holy Ghost. Like this is maybe our first love song to the Holy Ghost that we've ever had.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Why
little
calling
tree,
it little tree?
But it's that eternal flame, Now, why you call it little tree? Because it grows, maybe, and it's still little.
It's going to grow inside you.
Yeah. From the smallest seed ever created, the mustard seed, grows the largest bush you've ever seen. The mustard bush. That's a joke. But there's some weird things in here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The first weird thing is I look into your eyes and see your sweet disguise in the first verse. Why is it wearing a disguise?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I do like the idea, like I said, I guess I never really said hello. Which is an interesting, even if you're talking about the Holy Ghost, it's kind of interesting, because it's like, okay, well, I got saved, and then I never was like, hey, Holy Ghost, how you doing there? Like, I just went on about my life, and I was saved now, kind of thing.
Yep.
The choruses are obviously very much like a, I love you, and I'm not gonna forsake you kind of thing, not a single chance, not a single dance, not one memory has ever been matched, not a wink of sleep, not a lover's blink, not a single day I'd throw you all away. That bridge there is kind of like, people have hurt me before, but you're not going to hurt me type of thing. And then I really like maybe this is another bridge here. A little tree that burns in me, your mind is where it ought to be. Not on girls. It's where it ought to be. I don't know. That's me interpreting here, right?
Right.
But I do think that's interesting. And then, but then we get our other very weird line here. I look into your eyes and see your sweet disguise. I look at your disguise and see your Jesus eyes. I have no clue what these two lines are trying to say.
Is it more like I'm seeing through the disguise and, oh, I see you underneath Jesus? I thought you were a tree, but I realized you're Jesus? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we're putting more thought into it than he did, but I think it's a nice metaphor. It's not 100% winning metaphor, but I think it's a nice, sweet little metaphor about a little tree that's growing in you, and it's also on fire, kind of like the burning bush, but like a tree, and it's growing. I don't know. It's nice.
I wonder if these guys would have gotten... I wonder if the lyrics held them back a little bit as far as getting popular, because they're nonsensical a lot of times. And so it's not like in the Christian market, that doesn't always work well, because people want to know it needs to be about God. It needs to be clear kind of thing, but it's not really clearly about...
Jars of Clay got in trouble for being too hidden,
Yeah. And so I don't know if maybe that's why. I remember you told me when we did, I don't remember saying this, but it sounds like me when we did the second album, but the first episode we did, saying he's trying to cram Jesus in a lot. I wonder if that was part of a reaction to this. I don't know, but
yeah,
maybe.
It's a good question. Yeah. And if you remove that one line, I look at your disguise and see your Jesus eyes. If you change that one line, I wonder if you can play this on the radio.
Yeah, because it's like, otherwise we're just kind of stretching to make it have meaning,
Well, yes, yeah. But like I said, I think if it's a metaphor of a little growing tree that's on fire in a very mystical way, that's growing inside of you, and one day it's going to be a bigger tree because the Holy Spirit is going to continue growing inside of you, I think that's a beautiful metaphor. Fair. I'm not a Christian, but I think that's still a beautiful metaphor.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. Anything else about that song?
Nope. Cool.
The next one, which we're going to skip, is just like a little instrumental jaunt kind of thing. There's some hand claps in it. And some background kind of cafe sound, but it's fun. Listen to it. But we are going to move on to the 7th track, Miss America. Another song by Rob by himself. I don't have a lot to say about this song, except that it's one of my favorites on the album. Like, there's not a lot to break down about it, I don't think. But I think it's the best rock song on the album. It's laid back and kind of almost like a smug way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen to the drums here, and you'll get what I mean.
You reason. You don't need to talk. And if you call, I will listen. Well, I will be where you are. Miss America, she's lost her clothes and thrown it all away. Miss America, no one cares about you anyway. Miss America, I love you today. Can I say? I don't need.
I think you can already see a lot of the reasons I like this song. You know, it's melodic and in your face at the same time. Good beat. You know, I think it's fun.
Yeah, I liked it too. This was my second favorite song.
Oh, cool. Here's another part I like. This is kind of coming out of the second chorus and goes into like a little bridge thing here.
Today, 'cause mama's little girl's about to climb a tree. Mama's little girl needs a reason to believe. You brought me right through. You gave me the time to be alone. And two has red, white, and blue. You gave me no right to throw a stone. Well, you don't need the pressure. How about Noah's Ark? I've never understood a cheerleader. It's modern life and you're a star. Miss America.
We'll get into the nonsense lyrics here in a minute, but I really like. I never understood a cheerleader. It's modern life, and you're a star. Closing out here, we get some great like this coming out of a chorus, and it goes into like this little instrumental bit with the trombone, and the trombone has like some harmonizing vocals to it because that's what fucking rock stars do. I guess it's great.
Can I say?
Yeah, I really like the trombone edition. It's really nice. I would never have thought to do it, but it's really nice.
Yeah, and it kind of comes out of the chaos in this way. You're like, is that trombone? Is it trombone?
Yeah,
You know, it's just fun.
yeah, agreed.
Like I said, not a lot to say about that song except I like it, and I played you some of my favorite parts, which I think was most of the song.
Any idea on the lyrics on this one?
They're nonsense, I think. Yeah.
I mean, going into it, I thought, like, before I even read or listened, I thought, oh, Miss America, you could even be like, I miss America. Like,
Oh,
not the
nice.
person, but like me. But then I read it and I was like, no, it's talking
No,
about a female.
It's not, no.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You don't need a reason. You don't need to talk. And if you call, I will listen. Well, I will be where you are. It's kind of a love song in this sense.
Yeah.
But then, Miss America, she lost her clothes and thrown it all away. Miss America, no one cares about you anyway. Miss America, I love you today. Can I say? I don't need your excuse. I don't mind who you are. You can be on a postcard. If you want, I'll be far. Repeat that again. Because Mama's little girl's going to climb a tree. Mama's little girl's got a reason to believe. You brought me right through. You gave me the time to be alone. And who has red, white, and blue? You gave me no right to throw a stone. And then a last little verse here. Well, you don't need the pressure. How about Noah's Ark? I never understood a cheerleader. It's modern life and you're a star. Yeah. It's kind of a love song. Maybe it's a love song to a stereotype. That'd be interesting. I don't know where the Noah's Ark thing comes in.
No idea. Yeah.
Other than that, it makes sense as kind of like being a love song to a stereotype. The Miss America cheerleader, all-American girl kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also recognizing in her that she doesn't need this bullshit.
Okay.
She doesn't need the eyes on her. She doesn't need the pressure of always having to be the best.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. That kind of love song, not just a swoony love song, an I appreciate you love song.
Right.
You know? Yeah. That's all I got for it. I don't know. Yeah. Don't know what to do about Noah's Ark.
Yeah. I don't know what to do about this song.
Because he just says, how about Noah's Ark? I don't know. And it didn't exist in Kentucky yet, so who knows? All right. It's a fun song, though, and I wanted to cover it just because I like it.
Well, shall we jump to song number 8, Love Is Me?
Love, 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 love is me. All right. Another song by Rob. This is a weird song, and not just because it opens with some weird space age noises. You're going to hear here that the vocals on this kind of like love, 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 love is me, which I guess you can call a chorus, especially on the first time through it, it's grating. And it's slightly dissonant kind of thing going on. And I don't know. It's atonal. It doesn't exactly work for me, and I'm not sure why. But we'll get through that part, and then we'll talk about the rest of the song. You see there that this atonal thing is obviously on purpose. You know, we start with this distorted bass, this distorted bass, and then the guitar is near. It obviously, it's meant to be dissonant. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. We go into the first verse here and much smoother vocals, but we still kind of have, the vocals still kind of have this like angry thing to them, because that love and me thing didn't come off as super loving, I don't think, but...
Right.
But there's kind of still some anger left on these vocals, weird lyrics.
I'm the one who's got it made. I'm the one the train the railroad made to bring me back to truth. Your kind has nothing for me now. Love, 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 love is me. Love, 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 love is me. Are you out there for me to tell?
And all of that, I'm going to play a little bit here where I'm just going to have the keys and stuff. It has this like really warbly thing going on to it. Can you hear that like
Yeah, definitely.
kind of thing going on? Yeah. That's there through most of the song, especially through the verses. So you're obviously supposed to feel off kilter in some way. He's got some really harsh lines here. In the first verse, he has a line that says, "Your kind has nothing for me now." And at the end of the second verse, it ends with, "Nobody likes you, but you should be used to that."
Nobody likes you, but you should be used to that. I write the letter, I clean the mirror, everything is oh so clearer. Day turns into night, and night turns into you. Love, 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 love is me.
So after some more Love Is Me there and kind of a very still in your face and kind of even heavier, honestly, kind of instrumental, we get a very interesting section here where he starts to say, "I'm so happy when you're not around."
I'm so happy when you're not around. I'm so happy when you're not around. I'm so happy when you're not around. I'm so happy, 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 I'm so happy.
So you can kind of hear that we have some kind of weird vocal thing going on in the background there. Now I'm going to isolate the vocals here.
You're not alone. Baby, pass the money hand. Time is born. Stories of that. Though the ocean's cold and the day is long. The night is tall, but it's you just dead. No, you're not alone. Baby, pass the money hand. Time is born. Stories of that. Though the ocean's cold and the day is long.
So you can see, we go crazy, psychedelic, all kinds of sounds. Just a real, like, tense, is that the right word for it? Terse. There's an anger here, I think. And then at the end we get the last line of those vocals that you can't kind of hear there in the background is, "But its future's dead." And so at the end here, the last thing that we hear is the word dead, 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 dead being repeated over and over again like a loop. But it's barely understandable, and there's like some waves crashing kind of thing going on.
Oh yeah.
I like the song. Like musically, I think it's a great song. But should we dig straight into the lyrics here? Because this is a weird song.
Sure.
All right, you want to read the lyrics?
Yep. I guess I can skip the love.
Yeah, you can skip Love Is Me.
I'm the one who's got it made. I'm the one the train, the railroad made to bring me back to truth. Your kind has nothing for me now. And then after the love is me. Are you out there for me to tell? How you fell from grace is far from amusing. It leads to death. Nobody likes you, but you should be used to that. I write the letter. I clean the mirror. Every day is oh so clear. Day turns into night and night turns into you. And then I'm so happy when you're not around. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. No, you're not alone. Faith has a money hand. Time is born. Eternity's to plan. Though the oceans crawl and the day is long, The night is tall, but its future dead. Jesus Christ, I have no idea. I didn't even
And
try.
it's dark, right?
Yeah, it seems dark for sure.
Yeah. It even though this song is called Love Is Me, this song seems like someone who hates someone else because they've fallen away or something like that from Christianity, right? I mean, your kind has nothing for me now. Nobody likes you, but you should be used to that. I'm so happy when you're not around. I'm so happy. It's a dark song. And I don't know if he's trying to prove that, this is probably something you've experienced, Jay. A lot of us who have left the faith, one thing that we experience is that there is no greater hate in the world than Christian love.
Yep.
And that's what I hear all through this song.
Interesting.
Yeah. At one point, I was hoping that it was kind of satirical, kind of pointing out how so many Christians do kind of turn on people who leave the faith,
Yeah.
But I don't think it is, because that last part, no, you're not alone. Faith has a money hand, which I don't know
what that means. Yeah.
Time is born, eternity's the plan. So he's saying, like, the purpose of everything is eternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only reason we're doing any of this is for eternity, which is incredible. The day is long, the night is tall, but its future is dead. So, like, this world is dead. I don't think it's being satirical. I think this is just a demonstration of the fact that there's no greater hate than Christian love.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah. Wonderful.
All right. There's some more songs. We're going to skip about 4 songs here in the second half. Once again, I don't think they're skippable. I think all of these are great. I'm going to play you a little bit here from Electric Eyes, which is track 10.
Minutes of fame, but you see I'd rather have 30. I never called you on your dime. Next time I won't decline. I wish the world was really flat. The change would come and last. Electric eyes. Electric eyes. Electric eyes.
That's fun, right?
Yeah. It's not bad.
The next song is Just Say It. This song and the next song after that, tracks 11 and 12, Rob co-wrote with a guy named Billy Tarka. I couldn't find much on Billy Tarka. When I did some searches, all I found was some results that were all kind of tied to Fullerton Free, which I think is a church in Fullerton, California, where he's a minister of some sort and is given some sermons, and he might be part of a golf group called Duffers and Bluffers.
Okay.
And there's a credit on Discogs for acoustic guitar and vocals on an album called Echo Praise, Psalms and Hymns and Spiritual Songs that has no cover and not even a release date. There's no information on the album. But this song was part of the very first gas sampler from Seven Ball.
Oh, okay.
So this is another song they pushed for a little bit, I think.
Send back the parade. Send back the parade. Mail it to. 'Cause I am on my way to be away. Your mind's made up. It's all the way. Just say it. Here's your time. Don't play it. in doubt. It's where you are, it's what I do, it's who are you. Just say it.
Kind of a power ballad type thing in the British Britpop type of vein. Probably not your type of song, but I think some people would like it. I think it's a really great song.
It's not bad. I'm gonna tell you, I like it more than Speed Racer. I'm not into this last song that we're about to do, Clifton.
Not surprising. This is the slowest song on the album.
It also didn't feel like it fit. Almost the vocals sounded differently at first. I was like, "What is?" I was like, "What is this?" So, anyway, I guess we'll jump in now.
Yeah. So what I remember of this is the last song, track 12, Speed Racer, written by Rob. What I remember this song being kind of beautiful and melancholic, but also a little bit weird, at least lyrically. Like I said, it's probably the slowest song on the album. That last song is technically slower, but at least it's kind of a power ballad, whereas this is not a power ballad. This is just kind of a ballad,
Yeah.
It starts off with kind of a very subdued full band guitar just picking out clean arpeggiated chords, and Rob's vocals like slow and calm without flair, but they're sincere. Kid I really loved. Once again, going through the anxiety and depression type stuff kind of coming on. I really love the melancholy of I'm quite sad and happy in the same day.
Yeah.
So from here, the guitar kind of goes into kind of like a wildish, kind of distorted type part, joined by some crashing cymbals for the chorus. But all that drops out on the last line of the chorus.
One reality. Will you love me enough to die? I only try as fast as my angels can fly.
Then we go back into a second verse after that. I kind of like it's interesting. It's definitely a departure from the rest of the album, like you said. But I think it's sweet, it's melancholic. I think it's good for a final song, I think. And then here after the second chorus, we get some strings that come in with kind of a nod to another verse before breaking into a beautiful bridge with layered vocals over the music. It's the music of the verse with like the added strings.
Angels can fly. Time away, time away, time away. I say time away, time away, time away. I should wait.
So it gets these two layers of vocals. They're doing different lyrics. Kind of very sweet. I really like it. And then in a little bit here, we're gonna get kind of the song fades out with the first two lines repeated again. there's a long history of, especially in the 90s, of albums ending with songs that are a departure from the rest of the album. I like it. I think it's a good final track. I think it's melancholy and somber and leaves you in a different state. But if you were enjoying all the rock stuff, I can see why you wouldn't like this.
Yeah, fair. We want to talk about the lyrics?
We can try.
Well, I'll just read a little bit. The first verse says, "I'm Speed Racer. I'm Murray the K. I'm quite happy and sad in the same day." So I was like, who's Murray the K? Well, that actually was like a radio DJ, famous in, I think, New York. Even called himself like the fifth Beatle because he was really into like Britpop and stuff back in the day.
And he did a lot to get the Beatles off the ground. When the Beatles came to America, he put a lot of effort into getting them around.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. That's a real reference. And I assumed, honestly, before I Googled it, that it was going to be something with Speed Racer, the show, like a character on there.
Yeah.
But no. Now, does it help me understand the song any better? No, not really.
No. Neither does a Speed Racer reference, you know? Other than I can fly. I do like that I only drive as fast as my angels can fly. I don't know if that's a reference to Speed Racer. I never watched Speed Racer.
Yeah, so it's another one that this whole album has not been super clear lyrically. Other than
I'm fine with that,
Trump
though.
prophecy, you know.
Yeah, those are super clear. That's hard to question. Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
That's more clear than some biblical prophecy as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, we should make our next Patreon the Trump prophecy.
That's already a thing. There's a movie out there called The Trump
Oh,
Prophecy.
well, I forgot. Oh.
You obviously don't listen to the podcast, God Awful Movies.
You're right, I'm behind.
The cult maker thing wasn't a joke, right? Okay. There is a secret song. It's not really secret. It just happens 10 seconds after that song ends on this album. What do you think of it, Jay?
Kind of loungy.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you remember this guy doing the lounge stuff?
I do, vaguely. I never got into it, but I do remember it.
No. I think Stuart bought his album, and we listened to it, and it's fine. I think this is probably the best thing on it, honestly. He also did a Fold Zandura song that's on their first album. I think this works, you know. It's curious that he chose to do Love Is Me. We'll give everyone a little taste here.
I'm the one who's got it made. I'm the one the train the railroad made to bring me back to truth. Your kind has nothing for me now. Love is me. Love is me. Are you out there for me to tell?
It's somewhat a cover. The music is not even. The music is barely a reference to the original music.
Yeah. It's more just vocals and lyrics.
Yeah. Before I give my overall thoughts on this, Jay, speaking as how this is your first time to listen to the album, what did you think overall?
Yeah, it's not bad. Again, not really my favorite style, but I didn't hate it, and I enjoyed some of the songs quite a bit, like Little Tree and even Miss America. Like, not bad songs. It was fun to listen to. I will say also, I was surprised at all the experimental stuff in the songs, like the cello, like the trombone. Like, I was not expecting that, so that was cool.
Yeah, I think this is, if we look at kind of overall musical type stuff, I think this is one of the stronger albums to come out of that late 90s kind of alternative Christian stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was doing a real thing. I mean, was it doing just Britpop? Yeah, but people love Britpop. Like, it's cool. It's fine. Like I said, a lot of experimental stuff. In a way, I think this kind of surpasses, and there are different things. Like All Star United, that first album wasn't experimental. It was just kind of some straightforward Britpop, Whereas this kind of came in definitely with that kind of mod aesthetic and added some more psychedelia and stuff like that, and I think I think he did a great job with it. I think it's, like I said, one of the better albums to come out of that era. And great songs, and I like I said, I think some of these could have been played on the radio, especially Little Tree.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe even Miss America.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, like, I guess the album artwork and things first. I mean, like I said before, the cover very much is trying to do kind of a throwback 60s type thing. And I think it looks pretty good, especially now that I know. Again, Teenage Jay was like, well, I don't know. But now I get it more, what they're going for with it.
There's some fun stuff on here. There's the Target kind of thing, which we talked about the last time, which is a reference back to mod culture, and them kind of like, it comes from the British Air Force thing. There's also some fun stuff on here, like this is a high fidelity recording, vocals with instrumental accompaniments. For proper reproduction, use record compensator setting. I don't know what that means. And over in the corner, it says a universe of sound. But it also has a big, like, Sublime logo on it here, Sublime Records logo, which is kind of, I think, kind of a reference to a lot of the records at the time, which had, they kind of made the record label kind of prominent on the cover for a lot of these early kind of rock and roll kind of albums, original British invasion type stuff. The overall artwork is just a trifold. One side of it is super colorful with lots of bright greens and bright oranges. And that side has like the thank yous and the credits on it. Anyone else interesting in the credits that you saw?
Of course, Mike Knott.
Yeah.
Aunt Betty's.
Yeah, Chuck, a lot of good thank yous, yeah.
Chuck Cummings, who always drummed with Dakota Motor Company and Mike Knott and all that crew. Just what you'd expect. A lot of names up for people I don't know. Look, maybe a lot of family and friends. And stuff.
Like the first name, Robert Beeson, is the guy who ran Essential and started Sublime.
But no, nothing like that stood out too much.
No.
No hidden jokes or anything like you see in some of these.
No. It does end again with "May the Jesus I love bless you all." The other side of the trifold just has all the lyrics on it and song kind of credits. The CD itself just has a big green lime on it.
Yeah.
This might be a reference to like Apple Records having like, a big apple on their the center part of the LP. The label on the LP, And then the back of it is just a very mod kind of Britpop looking sideways picture of the band with Rob wearing those same dark sunglasses that were in the video. Yeah. It obviously caught my attention because I bought it.
Right.
But I think I'd also just largely seen the ads coming out,
Yeah.
And like you said, overall, I think the recording is
really good.
I don't think you can question it at all.
Yeah. No, it's really, really good. Again, sometimes we go back with some of these albums and you're like, oh, recording, not as great as I remember, but this one holds up fine. Sounds really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. I don't really have a Where Are They Now because I had nothing new to add from the last one. I will say that Rob released some songs through an Australian label called Mint Jelly Records. They're kind of a noise pop label. Let me play you a piece of one of these, Jay. I'm going to break in here real fast because as I'm editing this, trying to get it out to you on time, today, Rob has released a record on Mint Jelly Records, so I'm going to play you a song off of that.
For this album?
I do, Jay. I'm going to give this a sad award called Heartbroken About the Creator Award.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was a weird experience.
it is strange. Yeah. Oh, well.
Yep.
Clifton, I'm gonna go rogue. I got our next
Oh?
episode.
What do you want to do?
All right, I'm just gonna say it. It
Do
is
it.
well, I'm gonna say it's a snowy day here, which we rarely have. I'm really excited about it. And so I don't know why, it's just because of the cover art. I'm gonna go with Pep Squad No Doy
Nice.
for the next one, which I definitely have not listened to since about that time period. So
Really?
this will be a fun one to dive back into. So yeah. So
Yeah.
stay
So this
tuned.
is 1998 on
Mhm.
BEC. I like this album.
Yeah, I liked it back in the day. I don't
Yeah.
remember a ton, but it'll be fun to go back to it.
I have listened to it since then.
Okay.
And there's, at the very least, there's some really good songs on it.
Good. Well, I'm excited then.
Cool. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Your Music Saved Us.
If you enjoyed your time with us, please leave us a review or share this episode. Visit patreon.com/YMSU to contribute and get extended episodes. Visit our website, yourmusicsavedus.com, to find out all the ways to listen. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Join our Facebook group or follow us to keep up with the latest or interact with us, and send complaints and disagreements to yourmusicsavedus@gmail.com.
The music in this episode is the work of Kosmos Express and is used with apologies, not permission. Like I said, it's not streaming anywhere, sadly, so you're not going to get any music to the band by streaming it. Go to Bandcamp and search Mint Jelly Records, and you will find Rob's album. Or you can search Rob Goriab, and you can find his album there. It's pretty good. Go buy it. All right, thanks, everybody.
Bye.
You're my honey bun, sugar plum, pumpkin. You're my sweetie pie. You're my cupcake, gumdrop, snickums, spickums. You're the apple of my eye. And I love you so, and I want you to know that I'll always be right here. And I love to sing 3 songs to you because you are so